Okay. All right. So I was looking at video talking about the male loneliness epidemic, okay, of men. And the thing is, a lot of these men really don't want, they don't want companionship. They want sex. And it's being fueled, okay, by men like on the internet that don't have their best interests. Okay? Men who are not about God, not about actually what masculinity and manhood is. Okay, many of them will give them a false delusion of what a man is. Okay, an unbiblical man, and say that is manhood. Okay. Some will even try to think that what is going on in our current administration is something that is good, and is really leading us into the way of the Antichrist. Okay? A lot of what's not really taught is that as men, you have to become somebody. Okay? You have to have things in order. And one of those things first is Christ. Okay? Alright? Christ has to be first. Alright? And in our society, that is not taken seriously. Okay? Hello, Bentley. That's not taken seriously. Okay? And this is where we go wrong as a society. Because in this society, alright, chaos is what makes things profitable. For instance, imagine if men were taught, you have to have a close relationship with God. You have to see if you're somebody that could be husband material. Okay, is this something you really want to be as a husband? Okay, if men were taught that they have to have self-control, all right, there's an emphasis on both genders knowing the Bible, okay, knowing what, for men, knowing what women pick to be their future wife, and women knowing what man to pick to be their future husband. Do you know that abortion clinics will be out of business? Okay. Just think about it. This world runs on chaos. Chaos is profitable. All right? That's the thing. Chaos is profitable in this world. Okay? And this is why our society toxicity. All right, you have men like Andrew Tate, men like Myron Gaines, who tell you that, will shame a woman for having many partners, but doesn't shame a man for having a lot of partners themselves. We'll say it's gross if a woman has too much of a body count, but not the fact that a man wants to just date her just to contribute to her body count. Okay? This is the foolishness that is in our society, but this is the chaos because this is what keeps the cycle going. Women are looked down upon, okay, with this male loneliness, manosphere talking points, which keeps the men bitter and which keeps them coming back, giving these content creators, okay, money and support. Okay? It's just like Big Pharma, all right? There's no money in cures. There's no money in telling people, well, you need to come to Christ Jesus. You need to figure out what is your life with him, okay? And are you really suitable to be a husband? Okay? There's no money in telling people that. Okay, but there is money in having a panel of OnlyFans models. Okay? Women who are not going to change. And have them be the framework for all women. Okay, that's what they do. Alright? This is what they do. It's propaganda. Alright? And then you have this male loneliness epidemic, because now you think all women are like that. Okay? Same thing with feminism. You think all men are like that. Okay? Now, with this male loneliness epidemic, okay, they will feed you things, these talking heads online, these men that don't know God, okay? Because, like I said, in those type of business, Christ is a money killer, all right? This is what they're about, okay? They'll tell you to work out, get money, but won't talk to you about mental health. All right? And they don't have Christ, who's the great physician, who will help you with your mental health. There's no point in having all this money, all this success, but you have no mental peace. All right? Influencer talking, basically talking how to, gain, he was basically an influencer, and he deleted his baby mother. Okay? The man had no peace, right? He had probably followers and money, but he had no mental peace. Okay? What I'm talking about. You have these actors and actresses, they have all this money in the world, they're on top of the game, but there's no mental peace. Okay? That is what it is. Okay? Hold on. Alright, great. So this is the thing. They focus on the material, okay? It's okay. You have to have, don't get me wrong, you have to have money and finances to have a girlfriend, okay? You do. That will be your be your wife. But if there's no mental peace, if there's no mental health being dealt with, and guess what? It will fall apart. All right? No, this is what's dealing with this. They say this male loneliness epidemic. All right. Like I said, imagine if you had, men being taught, whether it's school, whether it's their father or a guardian, that men have to come to God first, all right, before seeking a woman, all right? And ladies, if they were taught by their father that you have to come to God first, because he has to be your father, you have to be one with him so you can see what man is for you, what man has ill intentions, what man is just masquerading is sick, man is led by the devil, but masquerading as an angel of light. Do you know porn would crash? Okay? The porn industry would crash. All right? And these are the things that they're not talking about. All right? These are the things that they're not dealing with. All right? They're not dealing with the fact that what's really hurting men. Okay? And some of the things is entitlement. Entitlement. There's no humility. They want to be the alpha male. Okay? I'll just be, there is no alpha male. All right? Except for Christ. There is no alpha male. Alpha means perfection. You're perfect. No man on this earth is perfect. All right? The only perfect man that ever walked the earth was Jesus Christ. And that's the example. That's the example. And the thing is, a lot of these men, they don't want that, because that comes with humility, comes with seeing things through Christ's eyes. All right, and you will be hated. Godly men are hated. All right, and you will be. And the thing is that you will be forced to ask yourself some questions. That's another thing that's not really pushed in these manosphere spaces. Okay, what is it you really want a woman for? What is it that you want her for? Do you really want a wife? Or do you, and you be able to leave the home? Or you just want sex? What is it? Okay? And the reality is, for most of these men with this male loneliness epidemic, they just want sex. They don't want to, improve themselves. Okay? All right? And they won't seek some heart. It's like, maybe God is letting these women reject you most of the time is because he's protecting these women from you. Maybe that's it. He's protecting these women from you because he knows you're not worthy. That's it. You're not worthy to have to have a woman that is someone's daughter. Okay? To be your wife. Okay? And this is the type of introspection that Christ will give you. Okay? And you get born again. And you start really meditating on it. You take the word seriously. All right? That's the thing. And the thing is, you have a lot of these men with this male loneliness epidemic, they don't really want to change. I'll give you an example. Mark Driscoll, right? He was a pastor at a church. And he basically laid into men. He just laid right into them. His preaching, he laid in like a truck, just a freight train. A freight train just right in, bam, with the truth. Like some of these men, Christian men, were sleeping with women that are not their wives. Okay? And he rebuked them hard. What did the church do? Did the church congratulate him? No, they kicked him out. Alright? This is the thing. The cure for loneliness is Christ. That's how to fix the male loneliness epidemic. The cure is Christ. Okay? And he will open your eyes. And there's things also. Because when it comes to finding a woman, it's for that woman not to be some woman you have sex with. That woman is to be your wife. There's a purpose for that. And there'll be some introspection. And if you don't have a job, you're going to have to get a job. And if you want to hold down a home, you're going to have to get a very good job. And you're going to have to read the Bible. You're going to have to be willing to be an example. And you're going to, you have to be the priest of your home. That's it. There's a purpose there. All right? Okay? So, well, this is really the cure for it. Okay? And you're gonna have to give up these immature habits too. Christ demands maturity. That's another thing. He demands maturity. When you were a child, you did childish things. But as a man, I put childish things away. All right? There's no shaming women who don't like you. All right? You're not entitled to a woman. That's the thing. That is a part of life, being rejected. Christ was rejected. Okay? That is how it is. That is how you deal with rejection. All right? The Old Testament. Okay? When the people wanted a king for themselves in their own image, in the way they want their terms, like the other nations. And Samuel was depressed about this, the prophet Samuel. God told him, they didn't reject you, Samuel, they rejected me. All right? That is how you deal with rejection. That is a part of life. All right? No, it's not about incel stuff, Delilah. It's about talking about this male loneliness epidemic, so claimed, but it's really talking about how men are really tied down to things that are keeping them from actually being able to seek a wife. They're trapped with porn, definitely. They're trapped with lust, definitely. Trapped with pride, yes, definitely. All these people, Jordan Peterson, who couldn't even mention in the debate that he couldn't even answer the question if he was Christian or not. That's a red flag right there. All right? Red flag. Be ashamed of me, I'll be ashamed of you in front of my Father and his angels. Couldn't even mention that. All these people, Andrew Tate, all these content creators, red pill content creators, just leading these young men astray. Okay? Saying love is a weakness and all that stuff. What woman wants to be with a man that thinks love is a weakness? Okay? Love is a verb. It's not what you say, it's what you do. It's another thing. And that's another thing, if you choose to, you want to have a woman, you got to understand that that woman is going to be a mirror to you, all right? She will challenge you, okay? There's something that you're not doing right. She's going to call you out on it. Just like you will call her out on things that she's doing wrong. All right? That's being in a relationship. That's being in it would be in marriage. Marriage, yes. That's how it's going to be. A lot of these content creators, red pill content creators, are really leading young men astray. Young men to think of just get your money, get fit, have a bunch of sex, get caught up with lust, marry a woman thinking you're in love, but you're really in lust, and now that woman leaves you, and now you're tied to her to the day you die. In covenant, thinking you can go on and marry somebody else. This is some scary stuff. This is scary. And these red pill content creators, Andrew Tate, Tristan, Myron Gaines, all these people, all right? That's going to hold them accountable on Judgment Day. He is going to hold them accountable for all these lives that he led astray, okay? He is going to hold them accountable for what they fed these young men. Some of these men don't have fathers, live in really toxic environments. In life, he gave them death. All right? When they evangelize, make people twice the sons of hell as they are. The Pharisees are already sons of hell. So, like I said, Jesus is the solution. Everybody's not meant to be married. Okay? Everybody's not meant to do that. He's not meant, there's nothing wrong with being content and single. God will give you peace with that through the Holy Ghost. If you're born again. That's all I got to say. So I hope this was a blessing to you. I hope you could understand what I said. I hope this was ministering to you all. And that's that. Take care.